Hi, Echuko. Welcome to Spatial Talks. How are
Thank
you?
you. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's my pleasure to have you here today as the founder of GISForAfrica. So, are you doing well?
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm doing great.
Okay. So, today I would like my viewers to get to know a little bit more about you. Let's get to know how you even got to this GIS industry and everything about it. So first, I'd like you to tell me how you got to the GIS industry. What motivated you? At what point in your life did you decide this is the path that I want to take?
I first heard about GIS from a friend in the Federal University of Technology in my 100 level days. Later, in our 300 level days, we were introduced to the GIS and remote sensing course. In this course, we were introduced to using of old maps. Basically, it was an introduction to it. Then, during my internship days, I went to a GIS company in Ibadan where I also learned further about GIS. Interestingly, during my final year project, as soon as I was returning, due to my presentation of my internship, my supervisor was so keen that I used GIS in our project. So I used GIS to present the spatial impact of aquifer vulnerability in the Eastern Dami Basin, because my first degree was in applied geophysics. Since then, I've been working in different capacities in GIS. I've been taking different roles. I've worked in the last decade. I've worked as GIS analyst for some organizations. I've worked as technicians. I've volunteered. I've worked as consultants, and importantly, I've also worked in GIS for Africa organization. And in fact, I'm more excited about the GIS industry now, especially in Africa, because it is such a youthful and vibrant industry. So I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
Some people would like to really know about GISForAfrica. Get to know what is it about? What is this initiative really about? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, thank you so much. First, I want to appreciate you, Brenda, for the past few months that we've been working together, especially in the last 2 months for our forum. I'm really excited about that too. But what bet GIS for Africa? What is GIS for Africa about?
GIS for Africa is, like I said, I was just interested in, I was very interested in seeing what GIS can do in solving Africa's problem. Then I also understood that probably I won't be able to do it alone because I was just starting. I didn't really have much knowledge myself. So I had a like a friend or like a senior colleague in GIS that I met on Twitter. So I was telling him about the GIS, about my ideas, what I wanted to do. He now asked me if there was any organization in Africa about GIS, even in Nigeria. So I said I didn't know. I was going to ask from where I did my IT, my internship. So I was told that there was not really an organization for GIS then. So he now suggested to me that, oh, will you try GIS for West Africa? Will you try starting something for West Africa? So I was not thinking that name is going to be too long, GIS for West Africa. I just said, let's just make it GIS for Africa. And that was how GIS for Africa started. So then the vision was to bring together GIS guys from different parts of Africa to come together and see how we can use GIS to develop Africa and also develop ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, that's really great. And so far, what are the progress that you've made so far in creating GISForAfrica? Where have you reached in your journey?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Because yes, at first what we were doing was we just structured ourselves to have workshops and to do trainings, to do seminars. In fact, that was how we started. We started with a city talk. We called different people from different parts of Akure, that the city where we were, that this is what GIS can do. we can do this, we can GIS can do this. We called people from different organizations, and they came in. Then from there, we went to a workshop because we saw the need for the geography teachers to be trained, because they just introduced GIS to the curriculum then, and the geography teachers didn't really know much about it. So there was a need for them to be trained. There was a need for a workshop. But as time went on, we discovered that, do we really just want to be doing saying GIS can do this, GIS can do that, without really practicalizing it, without really saying, oh, let's use GIS. Okay, since we are saying GIS can do this, GIS can build Africa, GIS can develop, can help in technology, can help in bank. Okay, GIS for Africa really needs to be able to have evidence, if you know what I mean. So then we began to see different challenges that Africa implementing GIS infrastructure in Africa will face. And then we began to create our types of institutions, began to look at methods in which we can gather data in Africa. We began to look at the way people interact. Even, companies were not really, didn't really understand what GIS was. It was a complex technology for both businesses and the local people. So marketing GIS was a challenge. People to sell the software was quite costly. So in the last few years, what we began to do was to find different measures in which we can engage Africa in the business of GIS without necessarily taking everybody through the technicality of GIS. So what we've been able to do shortly is to create a development project where we actually implement GIS operations to help communities, help businesses, help entrepreneurs, help youths, help different people. Then apart from that, also we've begun to have products that, we have begun to influence businesses to use GIS, to create GIS departments in their products, in their organizations. And we believe this will help future GIS people to have careers, so that they will be the ones to employ GIS guys in the future. So GIS for Africa has not just developed ourselves as an organization, but we've been also trying to develop the Africa industry. Thank you.
Oh, that's really great. For sure, GIS, it has to be evidence based. You can't say GIS can do this and you're not demonstrating to people, especially because currently in Africa, very not many people are aware about what GIS can do. So I get why awareness is the major part of it, to tell people what they can benefit from it. I think that's the major thing, really. People have to appreciate it.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why
Mm.
we invested in the football. A lot of people ask the question, why is GIS4Africa so interested in
Yeah.
football? What is happening with
I wanted
football?
I wanted to ask you about that. I usually see you post about the football teams. I'm like, what is going on?
What is
People are
going on
playing
there?
game. What are you trying to say?
Yes, yes, yes. I get that a lot, a lot, a lot. People wonder, that is the beauty of GIS. GIS is applicable
Mm,
in every sector, in all sector.
mm,
And GIS
mm,
Africa also is a local investor. Don't forget, we've been working
mm,
locally, we've been looking at the data, and we want to popularize GIS. We want to get everybody involved. So we've looked at
mm,
different terrains, agriculture. We tried investing in agriculture, entertainment, so looking at different terrains where we can apply GIS, like I said, we work on data a lot. Obviously, it's GIS for Africa. So now, sports was a very viable industry that was attracting the
mm-hmm,
youths, and it was also growing
mm-hmm,
locally. So we said, okay, we have to invest in this. Then we began to now
mm-hmm.
use GIS to create maps and to train the students. Interestingly, some of the footballers, they call me GIS. They don't even call me Ochiko. They call me GIS. Yeah,
They call you Jess. Like, how can
yeah,
you tell
basically,
someone Jess?
yes. And
Mm,
interestingly, we are using that to gain in the interest of people. Instead of
mm,
telling people about maps and they are wondering what can GIS do, just them seeing the football. We are doing two things at a
Mm-hmm.
time. We are marketing GIS for Africa. We are marketing GIS, and we are also using it. And trust me, it's already generating because it's already generating revenue. It's already gaining traction. We are using it. They are using it as part of driving our local message. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just about the GIS doing the business of building Africa through GIS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually curious. How do you connect it? Like, the football and motivating them to do jazz. How are they connected?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Basically, the connection is about letting them see, creating like a vision of what the future can be with GIS. What do I mean? For example, this year we've created a map of how we want to play. We play in this city,
Mm-hmm.
we play in this place, we play in this city, from this city, we play in this place. Then this is if we
Mm-hmm.
play in these places, this is what we can see based on the population. So we've taken them in the like a GIS boardroom to see, to
Mm-hmm.
plan both their career as footballers
Mm-hmm.
and also the revenue that the company or the organization can generate from there. So it's been it's and also it's that's what I said. GIS is also very patriotic in the sense that when you are looking at your environment, you want to develop your environment, you become conscious about your environment, you become conscious about your values. And so it is quite interesting. That's where our courses come in, because our footballers also go through our courses where we train them so that you can also GIS is an interesting industry, and GIS Africa has made efforts to institutionalize it in the way that it's not just like a software, but almost all components of GIS is actually adopted and used. And I'm very excited for where we are now, because next month we are going to be going to Lagos State to play a match,
Mm-hmm.
and then we are going to be flying the spatial quality spatial data campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We are very now. Another organization has joined us that is into fashion. They've joined
Mm-hmm.
us, and there we're also going to be creating maps for them, which is within the same local government, where we have
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday we have marketing board meetings where we share data with them of what is happening in the field, how they can invest, customers. So, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we don't want. Imagine we teaching the CEOs the GIS software. Imagine saying, "Come and learn the software." It's good, and you still want to worry about the your fashion. You still want to worry about your football. You still want to worry about your music.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do
Yeah.
that. So we have tried to.
That's true.
Yeah, so but we want you to learn GIS because we want you to use the GIS. So we have created like a board, like a report
Mm.
center where we analyze our ring of strength, and we now inform the footballers, inform the entrepreneurs. So it's really interesting, and we want to move. We are moving fast to different African countries now with the green space now, which is our link
Yeah.
of replicating
Yeah.
what we are doing in the Ogunbade field, which is a green space and also in different other places. Yeah,
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
really great. I'm concerned about. Okay, I'd like to know how other Africans. I'm sure many people admire what you do, and someone might want to be a part of what you do. What can they do? How can someone be part of Dress for Africa initiative? Or how can someone participate in your activities or events?
Yes, thank you very much. So, what what we have done over the years is to give opportunities to people to be a part of Jazz for Africa through our courses and events. Like I see, you see, it's a relatively complex in quotes. Jazz for Africa is relatively, it's like an institution, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, and what we are doing is also not just frivolous. Like we just do it and let's just learn GIS or let's just have fun. Let's no no no. It's something that you have to really understand why the organization was created. You have to understand the values, the vision, the structure. So basically now our courses are going to be coming up shortly. We already started the Nexus GIS diploma. So a very good way for people to join the organization is by registering for the course. or also joining for our event. For example, we are having a forum coming up on the 13th of April, the GIS forum that we're doing in partnership with you. People that come on board on such events can also become members of GISForAfrica by probably contacting the DM by saying, I'm interested. Like I was telling you earlier, somebody from Ghana saying that he's
Yeah.
interested in what we are doing, and now we are bringing him on board too. So basically, for you to be a part of GISForAfrica, you have to understand what we stand for, what we are trying to do. You also have to be committed to being able to be part of our events or learn the skills, the course, so that you can contribute your quota in building a better Africa through GIS. Thank you.
So I would like for you to give a message to the young people who look up to you, the young geospatial experts, students who are still studying in school. What advice do you have for them?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. First and foremost, my advice would be for them to believe in God and also strive to understand what their purpose is in life, because we didn't just come. If you believe in God, you will know that we didn't just come here without a purpose. So I want to also admonish them to be hardworking, to be dedicated. Nothing comes by just daydreaming. It is good to aspire, it is good to desire good things, but it's also better to desire them in the legitimate and good ways, so that together we can build a better society for ourselves and for our generations. We also want to admonish them to try their best to avoid violence, avoid fights, or rather, try to always think about solutions and to let love prevail in the society. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. So I think this is the end of this session, and it's been my pleasure, Uchiko. As much as your name is really hard to pronounce, I think I just like the last part, Uchiko, which is a
Yeah.
good name. Anyway, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for agreeing to join me for this session.
Thank you so much for putting up with my drama. Yeah. Yes. Do have a nice day.
Have a lovely day too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.